Alright, so this has had some time to drip dry. A little bit of cleaner sitting on top here. There's actually a couple of little tiny screws right here. I wonder what that's all about. You know what? I'm not going to take it apart. I'm not going to take that apart. I've done as much as I want to do on this. Hey, right on the back side of the quill, stamped right there, is the ubiquitous number 13 again. I think I should nickname this lathe Old Number 13. So getting back to this clamping device here, I started to, this is actually stuck now because what this is actually a funky kind of a bolt. This is actually a funky kind of a bolt right here. And it's got this lower piece which is stamped 13. And then this slides down over on top. These are supposed to be lined up, but it was turned a little bit when I tried getting it out. But that's stuck, and the reason why I think that's not coming off is just because this bolt is deformed. I think if I could rig up a way to do this on the arbor press, I probably could press this out. Problem is, alright, I think I got an idea. Alright, so I'm just gonna stick this this old wrench out of my junk wrench drawer. Hopefully that's gonna sit on that lip enough to support this. Alright, I haven't given up on this working yet. If I put it sideways like this, then I can get this, get something under the same thickness to support the front, but something a little less cumbersome. That looks good. Now I need something to something really short like this. How about an old bolt? That worked. Maybe I can. I wanted to take this bolt, this sleeve off of this bolt, so I could put this bolt on V-blocks and determine exactly where the high spot is and try and straighten this bolt back out. I might be just asking for trouble if I try and press this out of here. Well, I think I've got the right idea how to go about straightening this, but the problem is my V-block's too long. The problem is with this collar on here, I can't get this bolt to hang out over the side of this far enough. I'm able to actually turn this and find the high spot. And if this V-block was shorter, then I could support the end with the other V-block and bang this with a piece of brass right where the bend is, the high spot, force it down the other way and straighten it. That's what I wanted to do. You see, I can't do it because if I try and bang here right now, it's not going to do anything because the block's supporting it under there. And if I hit it here, I'm going to cause it to bend at this point, and it's actually bent way back here. So if I want to try that plan, since I don't have smaller V-blocks, Then I'm going to have to try and get this to come off. I'll just try and give it a push with the big arbor press and see if it gives fairly easily. Alright, so what I did was I used my little vise here, and it's got the V-groove in it, and I got this in there and was able to find the high spot, and then I just clamped down on it hard and actually got it to close. And then I cleaned up this with a wire wheel, and now this is straight enough that this actually goes on pretty easily. And now it's getting hung up here. There might be a burr, and let's see. Is it going as far this way? Yeah, it goes on both directions the same amount. So it's going to still be something on the shaft there. But the threads are galled from forcing this off when it was bent. So I want to run a tap. I just want to verify, make sure I've got the right size here before I run a tap down this thing. Trying to reform these threads. I think this is 1/2 inch. Hope this doesn't end up being one of these mongrel threads from the days of yore. There we go. There's a clear one there. Oh, look at that. I thought I just cleaned out these threads. Found a little piece of steel. Just pulled out another one. So, where's it going to be the one that doesn't have any writing I can read on it? 13. 13. I'm pretty sure this says NC13 on it. Yep. The reason why I question it is because this really doesn't want to go on at all. Oh, wrong size. Alright, I put it on the V-blocks and gave it a couple more love taps and got it nice and straight. And now I just ran, I found a tap, took a little bit of digging through my hordes of junk, but I got lucky and found the right size die, I meant to say. And now this, I ran it down once and it was pretty good, but I'm just getting stuck down to the very end. Now it's going, now it goes almost completely on, and I think now the reason why it doesn't screw completely on now is because I think of there might be some debris or something actually down inside here. Looks like there's some crud in there. And I don't even think it needs to go on that far, actually, so I might just, well, let me see if I can try and fish any of this garbage out. It really just looks like old dirt and oil. I can't tell if there's a damaged thread way down there or not. I guess I could run a tap down there. I don't think it's going to adversely affect the operation of this thing now, so I really don't think I want to bother. Well, let's see, if I put this between the blocks with both of these outer cylinders here are the same OD, so now with this I mean, I could put this on a surface plate, put an indicator on it, but just going by eyeball and looking at this, minimal deflection. Like my die handle. Oh, I forgot to put this back in the tap and die set I took it out of. Get this thing out of here without a hernia. Let that drip dry all day, only it was tilted a certain way, so the quill actually still had fluid in it. Made a wee bit of a mess. There's a groove in the bottom here, and there's a piece of key stock in that groove, and it keeps the quill from being able to rotate, you know, like when it's got a drill bit in it or whatever. And that groove is loaded with crud, but now I'm thinking maybe it doesn't even need to be that clean. The very bottom of this, right inside here, this actually looks like it's packed with grease. How that grease got in there, I don't know. Threaded hole. This hole right here, I wonder what this hole, I wonder if this hole is for a rod for a tool tray. Oh, you know what that is? See how it came out all red? That's what do they call that? Red lead? Or so what this was, that red stuff right there is, I believe, lead. I forgot what kind of lead they call that. But, essentially, it's a very early lubricant for a dead center. So if you were turning between centers and you had a dead center which doesn't spin, basically you had to have something to lubricate the end of the dead center where it engaged the countersunk hole you put in your stock. And one of the lubricants that they used back in the day was red lead, I think they called it. So this probably had a stopper with some sort of an applicator, a little metal pin like or something on that stuck out, and you stick that in there and you pull it out and it'd have a little bit of that red lead in there, and you apply it to the dead center and put it back in here for storage. So that's all loaded with that stuff. Now I'm probably going to end up using a live center with this, so I don't even know if I'm ever going to need that. If that hole's deep enough, it might be a good place to mount a post and put a little tool tray or something over here. I don't know, food for thought. There's an oil hole right here, not a grease hole, oil hole. So there may be grease in there, but I don't think that's what the intention was back in the day. So now I've got to get this back on here without damaging the threads that I just went through the trouble of cleaning up. Oh, look at that. Now that I straighten this out, this goes right on. Nice. Remember, I had to press this off. Sweet. So, in case I didn't get around to explaining how this works, pretty simplistic really. This sits on the side here of the quill, and when the handle on top is tightened, it's going to squeeze these together and have a clamping action on this quill. So the first thing I got to do is put this back in. And now that slides right in, nice easy peasy Japanesey. Hey, you know what? How about a little oil? How about treating it to a little oil? Alright, now that I moved it around to distribute the oil, I'm going to line this up. Just the way it should go. Again, not that I think that end of the groove makes a damn bit of difference, but I'm going to clean that groove out anyways, just so that stuff doesn't come, that hardened crap that I just scraped out of there doesn't come loose later and wind up where I don't want it. A little bit of jiggling gets that right past that. And that's in. And the reason why the quill is sticking out so far right now is because I've got it all the way out, extended. So now I should be able to put my keyway back in. Excuse me. Did I wash this handle? I can't remember. Well, I either already cleaned that or it wasn't very dirty, one of the two. Let's see if that's far enough to catch some threads. Alright, so I gotta tighten this up so that there's no end play like that, but not so tight that it starts to lock up. Getting close. That's pretty much it. How smooth that works now. Isn't that nice? Gosh darn, that's pretty. Alright, put the handle on. See how my handle locks now. See if I can tell if it's still, see if I can still tell it's bent. Well, I'll tell you what, that's not bad at all. If I didn't know that it was previously bent and I had just straightened it out, I wouldn't know. So, there we go, that's unlocked. That is locked right there. And what you're looking at right there, that handle moving from there to there, okay, that's the lost motion in the lead screw here that operates the quill. For a lathe this age, you can live with that. Cool beans. That's it for tonight. I got other things to do. I'm gonna wash up, go relax actually. Maybe tomorrow, find a little time and put the tailstock on the lathe.